All right. Glad to be here with you. Sorry to keep you waiting if you have been waiting. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I've had a beautiful week and all set for an amazing weekend. Life is good, much better than the alternative. And so I hope you're enjoying yours and making it better every day. One of the best ways we can do that is by taking amazingly good care of ourselves, right? It's up to us what level of health or vitality we enjoy or not. Yep, there are things that you inherit from your parents. Yep, there are environmental conditions you may not be able to avoid. And yet, the very largest contributor to your level of health and vitality, or the lack of it, are the choices that you're making on a consistent basis. All right, so glad to see you. What's going on there? Why is that there? I can't see. I see Tessa Jane. Hello there. Good to see you. You're number one. Congratulations. You're the best by far. The others don't even. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I'm glad to see you here. Vega Knowledge, JJ, how you doing? Good to see you here. Let's see. Hegro, Kimk, Tiff Bass, good to see you. Glad to see you here. I missed some other ones. Spiritology, Theo, good to see you, and more. Hanny, good to see you. Jared, good to see you here. Sandy, hello there. Glad you're here. Hope you're doing well. Ra in Finland, and many others. Sickle Dorn. Sono. I think I know you. I don't remember. Zara Osman, good to see you here. So glad everybody's here. Good day to you. Can't seem to hear you. I'm not sure if it's on my end. I suspect so. I probably would have heard that from other people. All right. Will do. JJ says, hi, Tessa. I'm guessing the rest of you can hear me. Yeah? Good morning to you, Mango Jane. Hello there. Hope everybody's well. Hannah, good to see you. Bespoke Nails, hello there. Could you dive in a bit on human physiology, why we're frugivores? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I think we can work that in today. What I wanted to talk about today was science and health and how to stay up with it, and sometimes, how we're up with it and maybe even ahead of it. David, hello there, David. Good to see you. All right. Hello. Daniel, good to see you. You can hear me clearly. Good. Fantastic. Yeah, Sandy, apparently there's something going on your end. Check your volume. I got on one of my group calls this morning and I was like, I can't hear you guys. Well, my earbuds were plugged in and I didn't have them in my ears. So that can be an issue. Make sure you got your earbuds situation, speaker situation handled. All right. Body by nature. Hey, doc, we can't. You live. My husband is on day 12, water only, ketones up, blood sugar average is 89, sipping water, heal diabetes and high blood pressure, working to heal his eyes, legally blind. Okay, so thanks so much. I'm not a doctor. I played one behind the garage, but a long time ago, like 3 days ago. I hope you know that if you're doing an extended fast, you should always have experienced guidance, always with experienced guidance, because it's critically important that you actually know what you're doing and are getting enough water and know exactly what everything means. So sorry, I can't give you my blessing, but I wish you the best, absolutely, but you're going to do much better with guidance. I hope you can find a way to make that happen. Okay. David, good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Colin, hello there. Let's see, Fernando, could you please save the live? I always save the live, except that last week it cut me off. There was a connection problem, and so it got cut off. And in that situation, there's nothing I can do. But you know what? I'm also recording on YouTube right this very moment. So you can go to YouTube, right? And if you prefer on Instagram, that's fine. But if you miss it, you can always catch it on YouTube. Always. I'm always saving there as well. You said recently that you had a client with, I guess, 3% kidney function. How slowly did you recommend him to drink water when fasting? I don't remember. We looked at his situation. It's particular to everyone. So I don't remember, but it wouldn't necessarily apply to anybody else. You know, we'd have to look at what was going on for each person and make intelligent choices based on the information we have. Okay. John says, "Hi, Lauren. Good day. How you doing? Hope all's well. I've been raw for 3 months, but I've been eating a lot on nuts and waking up with a bitter taste in my mouth." Yeah. So nuts and seeds are not ideal foods. Okay. Not ideal. Absolutely. Too high in fat, too high in protein. I know a lot of people are telling you have to eat more protein. They would be wrong. Excess protein makes you age and die faster. Okay. We need tiny amounts of protein. And this is a good place to start. All right, let's start there. So we're being told we need tons of protein. It's absolutely not the case. Now, here's what's true. If you want to build unnaturally large muscles for your human frame, you will need excess protein. Protein is contained in every single living cell. The structure of every cell is made of protein. Yes, there's not a lot of protein in watermelons or papayas or mangoes or plums or nectarines, but I'm living on those things for 33 and a half years. And I mean, yes, I know. The enormity of my physique is incredible, but no, I mean, it's not, again, you're not going to get huge. Can you be strong? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I build muscles quickly at 64 with tiny amounts of concentrated protein. We don't have to eat a lot of protein. All right. So when you're eating nuts and seeds, you're getting too much fat, too much protein. It's hard on your liver. They're acid forming foods. So many conditions occur because the body is trying to prevent issues due to acidity. Some of you heard this before, but remember, blood pH drops too low. There's this thing that happens. What do they call that? Oh yeah, death. Okay. You die. So what does your body do? Well, it pulls calcium out of your bones in order to balance the acidity, to bring the pH to where it needs to be. So you don't want to be consuming an acid forming diet, and nuts and seeds are acid forming. All right, if you want to eat nuts and seeds, John, tiny amounts of them. Now, if you're just getting started, you said 3 months, I did exactly the same thing and then realized, oh, you know what? Don't need this. It's not helping me. I rarely, if ever, eat nuts and seeds. I mean, it does happen sometimes, but rarely. I don't have containers of nuts here. Okay, so I'm not eating those. Now, right now, I have a nearly 13-year-old who eats almond butter. We have raw almond butter. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of that, but not very much. It's not something my body wants or needs. Absolutely. Have I ever thought about having kids? Yes, I have thought about that. Talk to my girlfriend. She doesn't want my progeny. She's afraid of what will happen. So, yeah, she's done. She doesn't want any more kids, and because we're going to be together for the next 75 or 80 lifetimes, probably not going to be having any children anytime soon. All right, so how much fat would I recommend? I would recommend that we pay very little attention to macros. We don't need to worry about that. Eat fruit and soft leaves. Okay, this is it. I mean, guys, we don't need to be in our heads. We don't need to be plugging stuff into computers or online calculators. I have never done that. I don't do that. Haven't been sick a day in 38 years. I'm still doing great. Okay, all we have to do is eat a fruit-based diet. Now, I love avocados. Every salad contains an avocado. But if I have too many, I don't feel well. Nuts and seeds, as I just said, not ideal. So instead of focusing on how much fat, focus on not eating a lot of concentrated fat. Very small amounts of concentrated fat, very small amounts of concentrated protein, you'll do great. And again, let's take a step back, okay? We're living in nature. We don't know anything about nutrition. We're living in the jungle. We don't have the internet. We're living in nature. What are we going to eat? What are you attracted to, okay, in the tropical jungle? Now, if you haven't been to the tropical jungle, you should know that over 50% of the trees there make some kind of fruit, okay? Over 50% of the trees make some kind of fruit. So are you going to be digging for tubers, potatoes and onions and garlic? And I don't think so. Are you going to be looking for green leaves among all the green plants everywhere because the entire forest is green? That are, I don't think so. We're not attracted to those things. They don't really appeal to us. Yes, some soft leaves are important. We are meant to eat greens. We need to eat lettuce. I mean, we should be eating strong, soft, non-strong tasting leaves like lettuce. Lettuce is best. Okay, we all have lettuce available to us. That's what I'd recommend. When we didn't have lettuce available to us, our digestive tracts probably looked more like chimpanzees, and we had the ability to ferment fiber that we can't digest so we could get what we need from that. But we don't need to do that because we have fruits and soft leaves. Okay, so our systems are different for that reason, because our diets have been different for so long. We don't need those things. All right, and this is why. So let's imagine now that there's broccoli and cauliflower growing there in the jungle. Are you going to be looking for that when there's mangoes dripping off the trees, mangoes and papayas and bananas and all the amazing tropical fruits? I'm never, ever looking at the ground for green plants. Okay, I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, so now the science often catches up. I was talking this to on one of my group calls earlier today or yesterday, and talking about how early, right? I've been coaching people now for 38 years. I've been giving lectures and seminars for well over 30 years. And early on, I would say things and people would say, well, how do you know that? Is there a study? No, there isn't. How do I know that? And my answer was, honestly, I just know. Now, when you buy a computer, you buy an electronic device, it's got a whole bunch of information already in there. But if you can connect to the internet, you've got access to all the information that humans know. We're similar. We're born with information already. We know things culturally, okay, because our people knew we don't have to learn some things. We have to learn a lot, but we don't have to learn everything. There's some things that are just innate to being human. But we have access to virtually everything if we can connect, okay? And how do we do that? Well, we vibrate at the same frequency as the rest of nature. And we vibrate at the frequency of nature when we get our bodies clean and hydrated. How do we do that? We fast long enough to get the garbage out. We can't get hydrated until we do that. We cannot vibrate at the frequency we're meant to until the body's hydrated. Okay, we have to get the body clean in order to get it hydrated. We have to eliminate this old waste. And does it exist? Yeah, I have a client fast with me right now for the third time. Now, the first fast was very short. The second was 21 days, but she didn't eliminate a lot of old hard material because the stuff was pretty backed up. This is her third fast. It was 30 days. As of yesterday morning, she had done 6 days of refeeding and had not had a bowel movement. Now, she's refeeding on watermelon, cantaloupe, right? Other very high water content fruits. What they have in common is they digest very easily, they're high in water, and they have sufficient fiber that we easily move them through the system. 8 to 12 hours after every meal, there should be a bowel movement. But that only happens if you're eating things that are high in water and fiber. Okay, 6 days. In those 6 days, she had 26 meals and nothing had left her body yet. How's that possible? Well, it's only possible because there's a massive old hard material blocking the way. Okay? 100% guarantee that's what's going on. It's the only reason. And this happens to every single person who works with me. For many people, a lot of this stuff moves with the first fast, most people. Some people require second fast to really get the stuff moving. Second long fast. Again, one of her fasts was only 5 days. That's not long enough, right? That was her first one. She was just getting her toes wet. But when people fast 21 days or more and they follow directions, you have to be coachable, okay? Guys, if you want to feel and function better than you ever have, guaranteed, you need to be doing this with me. Not on your own, John, sorry. No one ever gets the results that way, okay? Every single week for years, I hear from someone, sometimes 2 or 3 people saying, help, I did this on my own, I screwed it up. Or I did it on my own and I just didn't get the results I wanted. What's going on? Okay? So you need to understand that. I mean, you have to really understand the process, know exactly what's going on. It's not simply, well, as long as you're not eating, right, you're good. No. Well, I'm drinking 4 liters of water. Right. How much does your body need, though? I have people that sometimes need 8 and 9 liters. We have to know, we have to understand how to interpret the information to make sure that you're getting what you need. Well, things are tight economically. I get it. I get it. I really do. What's more important than your health? Right? I mean, on their deathbed, no one ever said, I wish I'd spent more time at the office. No one ever said, I wish I'd made poorer choices. Right? What happens, unfortunately, is people die of disease because of their choices. I just yesterday spoke to a friend from high school. She's not in my class. She was a class or two ahead of me. 80 members of her high school class are already dead. I don't know how many members of my high school class are dead because I don't know how to access that information. I mean, I guess the people that are in touch with everybody for class reunions might know. I don't. But I know of people who have died of cancer and heart attacks and so forth. It's completely unnecessary. Okay, we get to choose our level of health and vitality. It depends on the choices that you're willing to make. If you've spent, I see you over there, JJ. If you've spent 20, 30, 40 years making poor choices, you have to get your body clean. You have to do that, JJ. And others, you have to. You cannot experience the highest level of health and vitality until you clean the garbage out. I promise you, like everybody else, you will tell me, I've never felt this good in my life. That's what happens if you're coachable and you fast long enough. Now, for some people, it may take a little while to get there, right? Because you might have enough garbage in there that you're going to feel rough as the body continues to move that stuff out. But you'll get there eventually if you're doing what you need to. We can't rush it. We don't control the speed at which it happens. That's up to your body. Okay? Our job is to give the body the conditions it needs, and then amazing things happen. But amazing things only happen if you do that. All right? So the science for years has said you want to build big muscles, you have to eat a lot of protein. Right? Well, again, you want to build naturally large muscles, yes, you need more protein. Do you need to do that? I spoke to a guy who coaches. He's a fitness coach. He's a strength coach. He's a lot bigger than me, but his arms are as big as my neck. I said to him yesterday, I'm interested in some coaching. I've been very fit for years, but I want to get on stage and have people go, wow, that guy looks incredible, so that they're not saying, yeah, I don't know if I want to look like that. That guy's too skinny. I hear that, right? Because most people today are overweight and obese. If you're a healthy weight, you've probably also heard you're too skinny. All right? Don't worry about that. And I'm not worried about that. It doesn't affect me at all. But I want to help as many people as possible. In order to help as many people as possible, people have to look at me and say, I want that for myself. Now, he said to me, you look amazing. For a guy your age, you don't need my help. You're doing great. That was a fitness coach. I mean, a very, very good fitness coach, a high-end guy. Okay. The first step is you have to get your body clean. Now, recent research says, guess what? Guess what it says? You want to build muscle? You know what you need to do? You need to eat more fruit. What a surprise. It's not saying you don't need protein. We do need protein to build muscle. We just don't need very much of it. Okay. What we need are some of the specific phytonutrients found in fruits. Okay. So the science is often behind. I hear this all the time. Where's the science? Where's the science that says fasting helps you heal the body? Oh, you mean you want double-blind studies? You know what? There are no double-blind studies to prove most of the things that we know are true. So what we need to be able to do, and this is challenging for many people, right? If it's challenging for you, sorry about that, but you need to be able to think. You need to be able to look at nature and understand, oh, every other species on the planet, when sick enough or badly enough injured, does what? Lays down and stops eating. Yeah, people saying, yeah, but I'm not sick. Well, you may not have been diagnosed yet, but 80% of the population dies of cancer, heart disease, or stroke. How that happens is we make conventional lifestyle choices long enough, and that's what happens. So if you're already 30, 40, 50 years into making conventional choices, even if you're making better choices now, It's not enough. It's not enough. You have to undo the garbage first. You can eat perfectly, but until you get all the garbage out, you're never going to feel and function the way that you could. Absolutely, unconditionally guarantee it if you're coachable. If you're not going to take direction, I can't help you. Okay, but if you'll take direction, by far, it's the very best thing that you can do for yourself. All right, so there's one point, right? We don't want to wait for the science. We have to be able to think for ourselves. When we look at science, we have to understand. I mean, I saw something somewhere that said that perhaps as much as half of the science published today is corrupted. Corrupted in what sense? Well, studies are usually paid for by someone. I mean, they're expensive. Someone's putting up the money, and often the people putting up the money have a vested interest in showing a particular outcome. So what do the studies do? Well, they often show the outcome that is desired because that's where the money's coming from. The people doing the study want to do more studies. They want to get more funding, right? Because they get paid from that funding too. So what do they want to do? They want to make those people happy that are paying for the research. Okay, and that means that studies are often bastardized. It's also important to understand when we're talking about science. I mean, science, you may know some of these people. I hope you're not one of those people. I hear from people who say, I don't believe science. So again, now there's corrupt science, no question about it. Maybe half the studies are corrupt, but science is just an intelligent, systematic way of thinking about something, of looking at something, of trying to understand something. Okay, so science, for instance, has understood for 200 years, I think it's 200 years now, maybe it's over 100 years, how our kidneys function. And yet there are people that tell you, no, your kidneys aren't filtering toxins out of your bloodstream. Well, yes, they are, and that's not debatable by anybody, with any reasonable credentials. I mean, yeah, there are people who believe whatever fantasies they choose to, but how the kidneys work and what they're doing is clear. And so we know that urine is not something you want to consume, yet there are people who consume it. Is this a good idea? Absolutely not a good idea. It's a waste product that your body makes because it wants to get rid of things. Okay? So we have to understand that it's not a particular study that we have to believe, but we have to understand that the scientific process is valid as long as it's followed rigorously, carefully, right? That we learn from experience. That's how we learn. We have to have the experience. And then we have to properly interpret our experience, because often it's in the interpretation that people have problems. Okay? So, new science. Eating fruit is good for building muscle. How about that? Okay? Well, again, do we need research to tell us that? Look at chimpanzees and bonobos, gorillas. What do they eat? Fruit and leaves. How strong are they? A lot stronger than people, pound for pound. Yep, they have different structures. It's not a apples to apples comparison. But I mean, they're very, very similar to us. Over 99% of our DNA is identical to chimps and bonobos. And yet a 75-pound chimpanzee is much stronger than the average human. They could literally rip your face off. Okay, humans aren't capable of doing that. So we want to understand here. All right, let me see what other comments we have here. Okay, got that one. My YouTube stays on while I do other things on the phone, so it came over here. That's great. All right, Judy, hello there. Good to see you. All right, Mango Jane says, I've been eating raw for 13 months. I'm eating mono meals. I'm going to paraphrase here. Fruit and then a salad with an avocado-based dressing. My stomach hurts within less than an hour after I eat. Any ideas as to why? Yeah. First of all, I guarantee you it's not your stomach that hurts. It's your belly. It's down here. What's going on is you're hydrating waste stuck in the large intestine. Okay. So what do you need to do? Anybody want to help? What should Mango Jane be doing? Fasting with me for 21 days or more. Unconditionally guarantee you it eliminates that issue. Okay, this is what's going on. It's going on for a lot of people all the time. Most people all the time when they eat, they feel bad. That's why. Okay, I feel amazing when I eat, unless I eat something I shouldn't be eating. And if you've eaten stuff you shouldn't be eating for most of your life, you said you're only 13 months eating raw. And by the way, there's a lot of things that people eat raw. I mean, I got yours, monofruit meals, simple salads, perfect. Okay, but there are many people eating raw, eating things that we shouldn't be eating. Science says that cruciferous vegetables are loaded with nutrients. Absolutely true. Guess what else science tells us? We don't actually get those nutrients into the body when we eat cruciferous vegetables because we can't digest them. We can cook them and then we absorb all the nutrients we haven't destroyed by cooking, but we're getting something that's imbalanced because nutrients are destroyed at different rates. So how do we get all of the nutrients that the food contains? Well, we eat it in its raw state. What if it's something that we can't digest very well in its raw state? Well, again, I'm a little embarrassed to say this because it seems so obvious to me. So I'm not insulting your intelligence, but there are many people that don't get this. If we can't easily digest something in its raw state, and we can't easily digest cruciferous vegetables because they're loaded with cellulose, which humans don't digest. So if we can't digest something, maybe we shouldn't be eating it. Okay, we're not getting the nutrients. The studies are clear about this. They're clear about this. Okay, you take people and give them kale, cabbage, collard greens, give them mangoes, papayas at 2 different times. They'll get twice as much vitamin A, which is, there's no vitamin A in plants. Okay, the body converts carotenes, beta carotene, into vitamin A. So they get twice as much vitamin A from the fruit as they do from the cruciferous vegetables. But here's the key you got to understand. The cruciferous vegetables, the serving size they were giving them, contained twice as much vitamin A equivalency, it's twice as much beta carotene as did the fruits. And yet they get twice as much from the fruits. 4 times more efficient from the fruits than the leafy greens. There's no reason to eat cruciferous vegetables. We're meant to eat fruit, monofruit meals, simple green salads. Okay? There are many things that we can know when our bodies are functioning properly, when we're vibrating with nature, even if there's no studies. People say there's no evidence that food combining makes a difference. Oh, yeah, there is. There's lots of evidence. I've worked with more than 16,000 human beings. And when people get their bodies clean, it makes all the difference in the world. Okay? If you're used to eating garbage, you can combine things poorly and it will have no effect on you. How could your body respond to that, react to that? It's not going to. But when your body's clean enough, it's going to be much more sensitive. This is a positive thing. People think, oh, I've become sensitive to this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? Don't eat those things. Okay, I'm not sensitive to any fruit or soft leaves. I may not feel as good if I eat a bunch of nuts and seeds. Well, my body doesn't want those nuts and seeds. Okay, I'm going to feel bad when I'm eating things that I should not be eating. If I'm combining things poorly, I'm going to feel worse. If I eat a bunch of cruciferous vegetables, I'm going to feel worse because those things aren't easily digested. Okay, but science says that we need a varied gut, that the humans with the most varied diet have the healthiest gut biome. Now, I've covered this recently, right? But here we are talking science. So we have to understand how to interpret the science. The science is very clear that the humans with the most varied diets have the healthiest gut biome. Well, we know that most people eat processed crap and animal products almost exclusively. So the people with the varied diets are people that are eating more fruits and leafy greens, more fruits and vegetables. Those people are going to be the healthiest. They're going to have the healthiest gut biome. That doesn't mean that we need to have a varied diet. That's a terrible interpretation. It's an invalid, it's not even good or bad, it's just invalid. It's not a logical interpretation of that information. Okay? And again, I mean, think about this. Our systems work the way other animals' systems work. Other species, do they have the most varied diets possible? No. Most animals have very narrow diets. The chimps and bonobos, with whom we share 99% of our DNA, eat fruit and soft leaves. That's all. I mean, that's virtually, yes, they'll eat a little bit of flesh every once in a while. Does that mean we should do that? No. It doesn't play any positive role for us. We don't need it. It doesn't help us. It's harmful to us in a huge, huge number of ways. Okay? We want to be really clear about that. All right. Have you ever tried raw tahini? It makes such a delicious dressing. Yes, I've had raw tahini. It's a little bit bitter. I'm not a huge fan of it. But remember, nuts and seeds, too high in fat, too high in protein. Don't eat it very often. Okay, don't eat it very often. Avocados are also very fatty fruits, much better than nuts and seeds. Why? Because what do fruits do as they ripen? The enzymes, ripening is the enzymes in the fruit breaking the macronutrients down. So the starches become sugars, the fats become fatty acids, the proteins become amino acids. And what that means is your body has much less work to do, much less effort. Okay? You want to be clear about that. Now, let me ask you another question here. Let's imagine you're a cow, a sheep, or a goat. What are you going to eat? Well, you're going to eat grass and little green plants. Okay, but wouldn't it be better if we took those grass and green plants through a juicer and drank grass juice? Wouldn't that be better? The answer, of course, is no. Okay, every single species on the planet, is going to get its very best results doing what's natural to it. We cannot ever improve on nature. We cannot improve on nature. So if you want to eat gourmet raw food or processed raw foods, okay, you can make cheeses, you can make raw tahini, but that's something you're doing. You want to do that, you want to consume those things as infrequently as possible. What's natural to us, like what does every other species do? They go out into their environment and they eat those things that are readily available and edible to them and that appeal to them in their natural state. That we don't have to process them in any way. We don't have to cook them. We don't have to juice them. We don't have to blend them. Other species, same for us. Okay, so I have a blender now. I don't use it very often. Okay, every once in a while. Okay, I don't have a juicer anymore. I have in the past for years. I'll probably get another one because every once in a while we'll use it to do something else, to make banana ice cream, for instance, with a Champion juicer. Okay, but are juices ideal? Of course not. We cannot improve on nature. We cannot improve on nature. People follow me and listen to me and, oh, that guy's intelligent. But he's wrong about that. I'm not wrong about any of this. It's proven with thousands and thousands of clients. I've had many people say to me, I feel much better now that I've given up the juice. Now, other people say, but I drank juices and it got me healthier. I understand, because everything is relative. Okay? Everything's relative. You come from a conventional diet and start drinking juices instead of eating some of the crap you're eating, of course you're going to get healthier because it's a healthier diet. It's less of a burden on your body than what you were doing before. But are juices in some way healthier than whole foods? Of course not. How's that even possible? When we put something through a juicer, we oxidize a lot of the nutrients there. We lose value almost instantly. In minutes, much of the value is gone. Okay, and yet people cling to the ideas. They want to believe them. They want to believe this magic bullet. You can believe whatever you want to. You can do whatever you want to. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to try to help you. Okay, I guarantee my clients their highest level of health. But they have to be willing to make choices that are in alignment with nature. So I'll drink a juice. I probably had one 3 or 4 weeks ago. Haven't had one since then. It's not something I do very often, okay? Because juices are far, far inferior to whole foods. Now, eventually the science there has been science that says, you lose a lot of nutrients when you juice something. But people ignore it because people believe what they want to believe. Okay, the science is clear. Juicing fruits, carrots, or beets, you've got up to, let me think about this for a second. You've got up to between 5 and 10 times the glycemic load of the food. I'm sorry, that's from fiber juice. You've got 3 to 4 times the glycemic load When you dry these things, you've got up to 10 times the glycemic load. Okay, this is impact on blood sugar and insulin levels. Is this good for you? No. Now, does that mean you can never have these things? It doesn't mean that. But you want to understand what's healthiest for you are mono meals of whole, organic, juicy fruits. Someone said to me, yeah, but so-and-so says it doesn't matter if it's organic. Okay, guys, pesticides, herbicides, commercial, petroleum-based fertilizers. Do you want these things in your body? No, they're poison. They're toxins. We know this. They're carcinogenic compounds in many cases. They cause cancer. Okay? If you're buying conventional produce, you are consuming these things. Is this a good idea? No, of course not. It's never a good idea. Okay? We always want to eat organic if we can. That's what nature gave us. We can't improve on that. Okay? Same concept. It's what's natural to us. Consuming things with added chemicals, unnatural, harmful, it's a problem. Interestingly, the guy who made that comment is the guy who's fasted with me and has wanted to fast again for several years, just doesn't want to pay the price. But he's having health challenges and still saying to people, yeah, but it's okay to eat conventional produce. Maybe the poison you're consuming every day is contributing to the problem that you're having. Okay, the issues that you're having. Okay, you want to think about that. Okay? How would you prepare mentally for a prolonged fast? I struggle with cravings. The longer I went was 7 days due to cravings. Okay, so Fernando, I'm going to say this again. And listen, I apologize. I don't mean to insult anyone. I'm not here to beat you up. I don't know where you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know how much money you have. Here's what I know. We live in a global economy. Okay, in order to work with me for 4 weeks, you need to pay up front $1,400 US. For most people listening, that is not a huge amount of money. You can raise that much money. You can borrow it, you can sell something, you can steal something, you can find a way to raise the money. What's more important? Your health. If you work with my guidance, you know what happens? You complete your process and you're a new person. It's very difficult to do this on your own. Okay, how I prepare myself mentally is very simple. I say, okay, I'm about to do the most important thing I can do for my health, for my body, for my being. Because what I want to do is I want to be the very best version of myself possible. I want to feel and function my very best. I want to create the amazing things that I know I'm capable of creating. Can I do that if my body is toxic, if I'm dehydrated, if I don't have the energy, if I don't have the clarity? Can I do that? Absolutely not. It's not possible. The most important thing you can do is to take care of your health. Find a way to make that happen. I guarantee you'll be happy you did, okay? I know it's difficult on your own. Very few people succeed. Even those people that finish the process don't get the results they want. And then they think, oh, fasting, it's not that beneficial. Yeah, the people that tell you that didn't do it correctly, okay? Or they don't understand what's happening. They might be misinterpreting their results. I mean, again, if you still have a lot of garbage in there, it might have been incredibly powerful for you, but you might not feel fantastic yet. Okay, you're going to get there. All right? Would you say your childhood left you with any trauma? Absolutely. Does anyone get out of childhood without trauma? Here, I'll try not to offend anyone today. I often do. I'll say the F word for the F word. Everyone knows what that word is, right? Instead of you saying the word. English poet in the 60s wrote a poem called This Be the Verse. He said, they F you up, your mom and dad. They may not mean to, but they do. They fill you with the faults they had. Add some extra just for you. But they were effed up in their turn by old-style fools in hats and coats who half the time were soppy stern in half at one another's throats. Man met man, hands-on misery to man. It deepens like a coastal shelf. Get out as early as you can and don't have any kids yourself. I don't think anybody gets out of childhood without having some trauma, okay? Even with the best parents, it's difficult. Okay, our parents cannot always give us what we need, and that is traumatic to many children. It may not be that, I wasn't mentally, maybe emotionally abused. My mother, who passed away about 4 months ago, she was a piece of work. She did her best. I forgave her a long time ago, but she was pretty challenging to all of us as a child. And my father wasn't so much better. Okay, they're both gone. I hope they're in a better place. Again, I love them and forgive them, but that's what happens. It happens to everyone. I've worked with more than 16,000 people. It's happened to every single person I've ever worked with to some degree. How do you know how much and what to eat? What body signals do you use? Well, the key is to get your body clean first, okay, and then understand what real hunger feels like. And it's really simple. I mean, my body tells me exactly when to eat. It tells me when to stop. I don't always listen. I sometimes overeat, but my body's telling me that's enough. You can stop now. And if I listen, it will tell me, have this, not that. Okay? I'll get those messages. If you work with me, you'll learn exactly how to do that. Okay, you'll get that experience for yourself. All right, I'm going to come over here to YouTube and see what I've got. I haven't answered yet. Shani Bento, you're very welcome. Thank you for being with us, Loren. True blessing. Any hope to heal mental disorders, mainly schizophrenia, psychosis, and bipolar with fasting? Thank you. Yes, there's been a tremendous amount of work in Russia healing these kinds of issues with fasting. Now, here's the thing. I mean, I no longer have the center anyway. I'm working with people remotely only. So if you're on medications for these conditions, in many cases, you need to come off of them very slowly, right? It has to be done correctly, or you could actually create serious issues. You would want to have people around you that are familiar with the issues and what happens that can help you should you need help. Okay, I would be happy to guide you through the process if this is you or whoever it is, as long as they're coachable and willing to do what they need to do. It's amazing what can happen. Remember, folks, healing is a biological process. Okay, the reason I've been focused on fasting for all these years is because only the body can heal the body. Fasting, done properly, is nothing more than the most efficient and most effective way to allow the body to heal itself. That's what it is. We can't do any better than that. Okay, we're simply getting out of the body's way so it can cleanse and heal as efficiently and as effectively as possible. And that's why it's so powerful. It doesn't matter what the condition is. It doesn't matter what the condition is. Okay, the exceptions, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you can't fast. But if you have a physical, mental condition that you want to heal, fasting is the most efficient way to get out of your self-healing body's way so that it can cleanse and heal. Nothing works better. It's not even possible to work better than you can do. Okay, I'll take one more on this side, then I'll come back over here to Instagram. Hey, Loren, in your opinion, if somebody were to get dental work done, such as braces and fillings, should we fast first? Okay, so here's what I recommend. With braces, probably not a big deal. Fillings, maybe not. If you're having like a major surgery, okay, let's say you have root canals. Root canals are horrible, and no one should ever have one. Don't ever get one. If you have them, you want to have them reversed. But what you might want to do is fast with me first for at least 21 days. It has to be done properly. So you do 21 days, and then you refeed, and you wait. You schedule it so you have the surgery about 3 weeks after you're done the process. Okay, and then after the surgery, you do a short fast of 4 or 5 days. Okay, that would be the ideal way. You do a fast first to make sure you're really prepared for it. You eat clean for several weeks, and then you have the whatever the procedure is, and then you fast again after that. For a dental filling, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, for braces, I wouldn't worry about it. But if you're talking about something that's much more traumatic to the entire organism, for instance, getting a general anesthetic, where they knock you out, this takes days for your body to get rid of this garbage on its own, and it's incredibly toxic. It's very harmful to you. So you want to get this out of your body as quickly as possible. What I would do is I would fast afterward. And if your body's already clean and functioning well because you've already done a long fast and you've been making optimal choices for at least 3-4 weeks, right? The recover feeding or more, plus 3 weeks afterwards, then you get the procedure, and then a short fast is enough to allow your body to heal as quickly as possible. That's what I would do in that situation. Okay, I hope that helps you. All right. Hampus, hello there. Loren, will you please write a book someday? I think the world really needs your knowledge. I've got a book about 90% done. The last few years have been pretty traumatic, pretty challenging, and I haven't really had time. Right now, we're rebuilding everything, okay? Working with my lovely partner. We're building a new website. We're building a membership program. You're going to want to look out for that. It's going to be an amazing program for you. If you need support, and most of you are here because you need some support, That's coming up soon. Okay, that's going to launch probably in October. We're rebuilding the courses that were taken down by the goober who was running them for me. My fault. I shouldn't have hired him in the first place. We're going to rebuild all of that. Once that's done, I'm going to really have the time and space to get back to getting that book finished. And my goal now is to get that book published by the end of 26. Okay, but there's a lot of very cool stuff coming. Okay, keep your eyes peeled. There's a lot of very cool stuff coming. Now, one of the things I'll tell you, and I've mentioned this before, I'm going to keep mentioning this because we are eventually, I've got so much going on now. This is already a little bit of a challenge to do every week. I'm probably going to stop doing these live broadcasts. I will continue to make some, I'm going to start doing some longer content videos. I don't know how much, but some of that. But the way you're going to have the best access to me is by joining our membership program. Yep. I'm asking you to pay something because I don't have time to answer everyone's questions. So I'm going to answer the questions for those people who have, are helping to support me. Right? That's basically what it is. It's going to be a way to make that more better likelihood of getting your questions answered. You're going to get support. It's going to be an amazing program. I promise you. We're looking to build the very best thing out there, right? When I went to build Tanglewood, my goal was to make the very best fasting center possible. I think we succeeded, right? That's why we stayed full all those years, 29 years, with no advertising, no paid marketing, because people returned and they referred other people, right? Most people loved their experience. Did everyone? No, some people are miserable people. You can't make some people happy ever, but most people did. And the goal is the same. We're going to create the very best program possible so that you're always going to want, you're going to be there. And because we're going to continue to support you, we're going to help you. We're going to help you move from one level to the next. That's the idea. Okay. Thanks so much. How many days of fasting is needed to cure late stage Lyme disease? It depends on the situation. Chances are good. And if you've got late stage Lyme disease, it's not the only thing going on. There's probably other issues as well. So it will depend on the entire situation. But once I know the whole picture, and again, of course, it depends if you fast properly or not. If you don't fast properly, you could fast the rest of your life. It probably won't allow your body to heal. Usually with Lyme disease, I recommend 26 to 30 days fasting. Okay. What you should do is complete the application at tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com. On the right side, just down a little bit on the homepage, complete the application. I'll respond in writing, and we can figure out what the best course of action will be for you, given your very specific situation, because it's different for everyone. Okay, that's the key. You have to understand. Okay, we're running out of time. Let me see if I can get to a few more questions here. Hello from Toronto. I have high blood pressure. I'm eating 99% raw, mostly fruit. That's fantastic, Carmen. Congratulations. Eating fruit will definitely help you. I've had a 100% success eliminating hypertension with fasting. And the benefit of fasting, now it's 21 days or more with guidance, because again, you have to know what you're doing. But when you do this properly, what happens? What happens is you take your overall health to the highest level possible. Okay? You take your overall health to the highest level possible. And by the way, you want to hear something incredible? My girlfriend's over there unboxing stuff without me. Can you believe that? The nerve of that woman. Incredible. I know. I already knew it was coming. Yeah. You want to bring it over here and show? Come, bring everything. Bring the box. There's more. If you haven't met Sylvie, you're going to let them meet you? No. She's going to give me the box. All right. You'll meet Sylvie soon. Sylvie's going to be working with me. You're going to be seeing her in the membership. Oh, is it just this? Actually, he told me there was more coming. Okay, so we have some beautiful, again, sent by my friend who grows these south of Miami. These are mame sapotes. If you haven't had these, you're going to want to get your hands on these when you can. They're amazing. We got 5 mame sapotes and a coconut opener. So he sent us some coconuts the other day, but forgot the opener. Here's a small, but this is a whole. If you've never seen a whole coconut, coconuts are usually green or yellow, sometimes orange, and this is what they look like. So now we're going to have an easier time getting into them, and we're looking forward to that. We also have these beautiful mangoes that are ripening. Yep, they're green, but they're getting there. We also have amazing avocados. You want to show one of these avocados? Avocado coming. Hold on. And we had some beautiful, beautiful bananas. One of the varieties you don't see in the US or Europe or anywhere else. These are big. Our Hass avocados are like that big in comparison, twice, 3 times the size. So, anyway, let me see, where were we? Hello, Sherry. Good to see you here. Indre, I am not going to try your last name. I know you understand. There's a lot of consonants and even more vowels. Hello, have you ever had clients with late-stage neurological Lyme disease? How long does it take to cure it with fasting? Are you on both sites? Because I think I just responded to that question. Yes, you're the same person, aren't you? Okay. Does Loren answer questions from Instagram? Yes, I do. I go down the list. If you want to get your questions answered, you want to get here early because I always run out of time. I got 5 minutes left and I have a group call I have to get to with 5 or 6 people fasting with me. So I'm not going to get to all of them. That's what happens. But I'm going to come back to Instagram now. When is it usually okay to get lettuce when refeeding after 42 days fast, or what day? I mean, again, it depends on the situation. If you fasted properly or not. Normally, I would give someone lettuce after 42 days, only around 10 days into the refeeding process, but each situation is different, okay? If you didn't fast with me, you're obviously a bad person. Okay, I mean, that's a fact. All right, let's see here. How would you recommend to transition to a fruit-based diet? I'm a bit scared to get blood sugar imbalance as I ate quite some fat and protein-rich diet. Okay, so you don't need to worry about this too much, but here's what you want to do. A, stop eating a lot of fat and protein. B, give it a day. Okay, so for a day, eat neutrally. I mean, maybe have 1 or 2 days, you just eat green salads, as much as you want. Okay, nothing sweet, lettuce, tomato, cucumber, some pepper if you want a little bit of avocado. And then you can go to a fruit-based diet. Okay, make sure if you're eating avocado that you eat it only at night, because it can take 15 to 16 hours to get the the fat out of your bloodstream. If it's in your bloodstream, it's going to create insulin resistance. Okay, but the fact that you've been doing this for a long time, that's okay. Just make sure that you're not eating fruit shortly after eating a lot of fat. Okay, so give it that break and you should be perfectly fine. Okay? All right, let's see. Hello to all the folks. If I don't have a chance to say hello to you or wave to you, sorry, I'm glad you're here. It's wonderful. Can pregnant women fast occasionally? No. If you're pregnant, you can fast for a day. You can do intermittent fasting. You shouldn't really fast more than that. Okay, sorry about that. Can and should pregnant women eat raw only? Everyone should eat raw only. Okay? If you want to have a healthy baby, you should definitely eat only raw, but it needs to be an optimal raw vegan diet. 100% of humans are meant to eat only fruit and leafy greens. Every single person. Okay, every person. Certainly, if you want a healthy baby, you need to do that. Okay, Kurt Kramer. Hello, Kurt. Good to see you. After 7 days of fasting, if one feels fine standing up, but one lays down to rest, the legs, lower back, and flank area would ache immediately. Any ideas why? Well, it might have been that standing up was too much for you. You should be resting as completely as possible. There might be some tightness there. You might want to do some stretching. You can do some gentle stretching while you're fasting. That's fine. Okay? Spiritology says about 6 months into eating all fruit and salads with nothing else except water, my blood pressure got to 80/60 and I started getting really, really dizzy. Thoughts, what's happening there? Yeah, you're super dehydrated. Okay? You're super dehydrated. You need to get more water. You need to clean the body out to get fully hydrated. But in the meantime, you're not drinking enough water. Okay, your blood pressure tells me that your blood volume is too low, and that's why you're dizzy. Okay, you get up, you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain because you don't have enough blood, because you're dehydrated and not getting enough water. All right, that's what's going on. Again, you want to fix this completely and take your health to an amazing level. You need to fast 21 days or more. Okay, can you make it happen? Let's get you to an amazing level of health and vitality. All right. I'm going to come back over here to the other side. Massimo, I started eating raw 3 weeks ago. Breakfast, 3 pounds of watermelon. Lunch, 2 to 3 pounds of bananas. Dinner, big salad. And my triglycerides went up 266. My total cholesterol went up to 195. Don't know what to do. Don't do anything. Keep eating the way you're eating. You're going to be perfectly fine. What you're seeing is a temporary result as your body begins detoxing the garbage from your arteries. Okay, again, you want to fix this quickly, Massimo? Fast with me. This is the way, you can go slowly over the course of the next 20 years. We can literally do in 21 days what it would take you 20 years to do eating optimally. I've seen this over and over again. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. I'm going to have to end it here, guys. I hope this has been beneficial for you. Remember, I'm going to be doing these lives for the next 6, 7, maybe 8 weeks. And then I'm not going to probably wind up being live anymore because I'm going to be focusing my attention on the community that we're building. You're still going to have a chance to meet me live by joining the community. And I'll tell you something, I'll warn you now that there's going to be a founder's rate coming up. Okay, we're going to offer a special price to those people who get in early, and it's never going to change for you. So it's going to be much lower than the normal rate that we're going to be offering to the public. And when rates go up over time, your rate's going to be locked in forever, as long as you stay with us. If you cancel and come back, you're going to pay the new rate. Okay, it doesn't matter how long you're with us. If you cancel, you wind up paying the new rate. So be ready, because we're going to be offering this sometime in the next month or so. And it's going to be a short opportunity, a short window to join at the founder's rate. And I'm going to be live there. You're going to have a lot more access. You're going to have a lot of very cool things. We're going to be doing things for you. And it's going to be an amazing community. All right. Looking forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, I'll be back next Friday, and I'll see you then. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.